Today's cocktail may look deceptively simple, but it's a whole world to discover. We are diving into the highball in its simplest and most humble expression, the Whiskey Highball. Now I know it may sound like a contradiction, but we are not making a watered down whiskey. At the contrary, this cocktail is meant to be in service to the whiskey, allowing you to discover nuances under a different light. We're not masking anything, we're not diluting anything, we are enhancing. While it finds its origin in the Scotch in soda, which is considered to be the very first ever highball, Japan is widely responsible for its current popularity. The secret to crafting an excellent whiskey highball lies in the details. Here are a couple things to keep in mind before we make the two cocktails we have planned for today. First, the whiskey. Quality is important, of course, but what matters the most is to pick something you really enjoy. If you're not sure, think of it like this: if you wouldn't sip it neat, don't use it in this drink. Today we're using a Japanese whiskey called Suntory Toki, which is a very common choice for this cocktail because it's light, unaged, lightly malted, and was actually designed for mixing and pairing with soda water to create the most refreshing highball. The sparkling water. With subtle variation in minerality and level of carbonation, different sparkling water are gonna lend different personality to the final drink. So experiment with what you have access to find what works the best. Now the temperature is crucial at every step for this drink. The level of carbonation is going to depend a lot from the temperature, so make sure to use very cold bubbly water, to use the most sparkling water you can find, and to crack open a new bottle before you start making this drink. So the idea here, of course, is to use some kind of highball glass. The size is going to depend on the ratios you want to use. As long as you're able to fit a lot of ice and your ingredients, you're good to go. Now, I always heard that the smaller the surface area on top, the less chances for the bubble to escape. So that is certainly one advantage of this kind of glasses. The thicker the glass, the longer it's gonna take to cool down. So usually thinner glasses are preferred, but they also break more easily. So as long as you chill your glass in advance, you're all good. Now, I've seen recipes using ratios between 2 to 4 parts soda water to whiskey. Like with any highball, I think it's widely up to preferences. It also depends from the kind of whiskey you are using. I think a very handy thing is to know your glassware so you don't have to measure things every time. For example, I know that this glass fits filled with ice, 2 ounces of spirit, and just above 4 ounces of mixer, which is perfect for a 2-to-1 whiskey highball, which is my preference. Now, as I said, this cocktail is very much linked to Japan, where they have a very precise way to make cocktails. Sometimes it's a bit over the top with a precise amount of times you have to stir in your glass and very precise movements. While I respect very much that technique, we're gonna take a somewhat more laid back but no less precise approach to make our cocktail. Let me show you how I like to make a whiskey highball. Start with a chilled glass, fill it with ice, give it a quick stir, pour your chilled whiskey, 2 ounces, stir further to chill, top with very cold soda water, trying to pour as close as possible to the side of the glass to naturally mix the whiskey. Then delicately lift the ice to make sure everything is perfectly incorporated without wasting any bubble. While it can be tempting to express lemon oils on top, I would recommend to try it first without, in its purest form, and eventually add the garnish later if you feel like it. Your whiskey highball is ready to enjoy. So this is a very simple cocktail, obviously, but it is truly a blank canvas for your whiskey of choice to really shine. Like the old-fashioned, for example, This drink for me is perfect to bring you one step closer to know a bit more intimately the spirit you are mixing with, and why not maybe getting a bit closer to appreciating it neat if there is something you are interested in. Now, the very good thing about a basic template like this one is that it's an open road to explore multiple variations, and there are a lot of options out there. Nobody said you had to top your whiskey with only soda water. Ginger ale, for example, is a very common option. Since we are exploring a very sober cocktail today, I kept things quite minimal for the next one too, which is one of my favorites. This is the green tea highball. Start with a chilled glass filled with ice and add 2 ounces of your chilled Japanese whiskey, followed by 2 ounces of your favorite green tea previously chilled. Top with soda water, and garnish with a lemon twist. So this cocktail offers a very subtle yet interesting variation on the Whiskey Highball. You get a more vegetal, grassy feel from the green tea. It also brings a little bit of sweetness to balance out the whiskey. And it's a very good match, whiskey and green tea. A lot of different options for variations on the whiskey sour. This one is one of the easiest and one of my favorites. As I said, many options out there to try. I hope you really enjoyed this episode on a very basic yet essential highball cocktail, as well as the whole highball series we are making at the moment. Thank you very much for watching it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss any video. I'll see you next week for more. Cheers!